my track record.
That sounds good.
Doing
I'd
very
like to share
well.
my 3 real estate strategies.
Calling the share that I now,
What's for sale and for what
calling
on
the
your
share
street.
that I,
Wow.
real estate agent with Keller Williams
I can
Realty.
send you a
I thought
text
of you,
with like,
because
that's
you
good.
grow my
I'd like to share my
business,
3 real
especially
estate
since you know
so easy
that
to
my
check.
track
What's for
record
sale,
is
what's
doing very well.
for anything in the US economy. I can
Calling
send you a
the share that I am
text.
now,
Does that sound good?
with Keller Williams Realty. I thought of you, because I knew you would be
It's
someone
so
to help me
easy to
grow my
check what's for
business.
sale and what price.
Especially since you know my track
Any
record
real
and
estate
your
business.
commitment to
I can
doing
send
the
you a
business.
text. Does that sound good? I'd like to
I just
share-
got it, I wrote down.
It's so easy to check what's for sale and for what price.
I've been busy growing my business, my real estate business and working with great clients like you. I wanted to share with you that I have a personal goal of getting 20 families into homes this year.
I saw you share that I
I'll send you a text with the link. Does that sound good?
I
I'd
thought
like to
of
share
you
with you
because I
real
knew
estate.
you would be someone to
It's
help
so
me
easy
grow
to
my
check
business.
what's for
Yeah,
sale.
I do.
Since you know my track record and commitment to doing the very
I can
best.
send you with a text.
Yeah,
I can
You have to
send you
stand
a
up.
text with the
Especially
link.
since
Does that sound good?
I'm calling to
Because
share
the
that
same
I'm real estate agent with Keller Williams Realty. I thought of you because I knew you would be someone to help me grow my business. Especially since you know my track
I've been
record.
busy growing my real estate
Does
business.
that sound good?
And
Yeah.
great clients.
Halfway up.
Calling you on
And I wanted to share with you that I have a personal goal that I have 20 families into homes
Oh,
this
okay,
year.
okay, okay.
Especially since you know my track record.
I know.
I've been busy growing my real estate
Hello, this
business
is John.
and working with great clients like you.
Share that I'm now real estate
And I wanted to share with you
Hello,
that I
this is
have
John.
a personal goal of
This is
getting
my own.
20 families into their
Since you know my track record.
This is John.
when you walk
Do you have a moment? Do you have a moment? Do you have a moment? Do you have a moment?
I would probably.
Yeah, I focus on my real estate.
Do you have a moment?
Do you have a moment to share with you that I have a goal of helping 20 families get into their dreams this year.
Do you have a moment?
I'd like to share my
I'd like to apologize for not staying in touch.
It's so easy to check what's for sale and what
Do you have a
price
moment?
on the
It's
street.
been a while. I'd like to apologize for not staying in touch. I've been good.
I can send
Do
you
you
a
have a
text for a
moment?
link.
It's been a while.
Does that
I'd
sound
like to
good?
apologize for not staying in touch. I've been good.
I'd like to share my
Do
real
you have a
estate
moment?
average.
It's been a while.
So easy
I'd like to share that I'm
sale.
not staying in
Great
touch.
clients
Are
like
you
you.
good?
I wanted to
Do you
share
have a
that I
moment? It's been a
have
while.
What price on the street?
Sure, that I have a
Yes,
personal
I'm
goal.
in place in the US.
Do you have a moment? It's been a while.
20 families get into the home of their dreams this year.
I'll rent it. Does that sound good?
I'm busy growing my real estate business and working with great clients. I wanted to share that I have a personal goal to help 20 families get into the home of their dreams this year. I've been busy growing my real estate business and working with great clients.
Personal goal to help.
I wanted to share that I have a personal goal to help 20 families get into the home of their dreams.
As you already know, I'll do whatever it takes to
I've
help
been busy
people.
growing my real estate business and working with great clients like
I've been growing my
I want to
business.
help you
I've
too.
I also like
It's
you.
really
I
hard.
wanted to
And
share
I
that.
don't know
I'd like to share my help.
to my year at Minnesota.
Real estate
Probably
average.
does.
As you already know, I'll do whatever it takes to help people.
What price?
I wanted to share that I have a personal goal to have 20 families get into the home of their dreams this year.
I wanted to share
I've
that.
been busy growing my real estate business and working with great clients like you.
As you already know, whatever it takes to help
I wanted to share that I have a personal goal to help 20 families get into the home of their dreams this year. I've been busy growing my real estate business and working with great clients like you. I wanted to share that I have a personal goal to help 20 families get into the home of their dreams this year.
It does make a difference.
I gotta get busy.
I'm busy growing my real estate business and working with great clients like you. I wanted to share that I have a personal goal to help 20 families get into the home of their dreams this year.
I'd like to share my
I've been busy growing my real estate business and working with great clients like you. I wanted to share that I have a personal goal to help 20 families get into their dreams this year. I've been busy growing my real estate business and working with great clients like you. I wanted to share that I have a personal goal to help 20 families get into their home, into the home of their dreams this year.
It makes a huge difference when you smile.
Yeah, how does it sound different?
There's more energy behind it, like there's more, like it lightens what you're saying, and if there's more like, there's just more life in
Because I feel like I sound like a little
I wanted you to know I have a personal goal of helping
probably
20
do,
families
but
get into
No, you
their
don't.
dreams
I
this
don't,
year.
because okay.
I know, as you already know, I'll do whatever it
it
takes
just
to help
lightens it so that it's easier to receive. Yeah.
I've been busy growing my real estate business, helping great clients like you. I wanted you to know I have a personal goal to help
growing my real
20
estate
families.
business and working with great clients like you. I wanted to share that I
As you
have
already
a
know,
personal
whatever
goal
it
to help
takes to help
20
you.
families get into the home of their dreams this year.
I've been busy growing my real estate
I've
business
been busy
and
growing my
working
real
with great
estate
clients
business
like
and
you.
working with
I
great
wanted you to know I
clients
have a
like
personal
you.
goal of
I
helping
wanted to
120
share that
families
I
this
have a
year
personal
get
goal
into
to help 20 families get into the home of their dreams this year.
As you know, I'll do whatever it takes to help you.
And
May I
then
comment you know
living
that?
in 5 times.
I am.
Oh, yeah, so a little bit as you went on.
She did both.
Just internalize and
You
now
did both sets at the same time.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
I think we all are.
Always looking for a little
That's
short
what I was-
Like, I feel like.
Did you put these rights on yourself?
No.
There's a difference though.
I'm not in that
Like,
way.
it gets
Like, I
oh,
have
sure,
something
I know the
to
point, it's like, that's why I never.
I like sparkles.
But I feel like it's.
So I've been busy growing, I've
I
been busy growing my real estate
Yeah.
business.
So you can take the
Working
meeting
with great clients like you. And I have a personal goal to help 20 families this year find the home of their dreams.
So I feel like
I've been busy building my real estate business.
I
I have great clients like
I've
you.
done a lot of
And I
like.
have a personal goal of helping 20 families this year find the home of their dreams.
Never like you guys
Oh,
send me stuff.
I've been busy building my real estate business and working with great clients like you. I have a personal goal this year of helping 20 families
It really,
find the home of their
for me, it's like I was
dreams. So why is that
salesman.
I've been busy growing my real estate business with great clients like you. And I have a personal goal of helping 20 families grow their, find their.
Well, what you're doing is you're teaching yourself through trial and error, which is effective, but it takes a long time, right? 98 open houses. So if you want to short time, what somebody says, all you want.
And I have a personal goal of helping 20 families find the home of their dreams this year.
I was talking to my coach because I
That was a
struggled
really good one.
just rolling over me when I was asked to sign this deal. And she's like, well, I'm just telling you,
Sounds good. I always, when you
come
were
on
saying
in
that,
and sign in, everybody signing in. And that's the word, the script. Everybody is signing in.
That's good.
So
Stuff in the grocery store.
all it is,
You feel like you want to use this
no
one?
matter how long it is,
I
you will learn. You will learn.
For me, it's better than.
Okay, wrap up the second person.
The what,
The
that
phrase I thought.
I like to share my freedom.
But
sharing something about me, like how business goal is a vulnerable thing for me.
Yeah.
And so doing that, like I can see myself as the entrepreneurs that I know, you know, in my community. And they would be so excited for me. And,
But you're from here, right?
oh, when I know, like,
Okay,
So I was
let me,
licensed
oh, I
in
know so-and-so's
2004.
movie. Whatever. So I think here is on
That's always been my living.
yeah.
So 50 years old, here I am, back at school.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, but somehow like being called on to.
Because what I
think it's
found is
just
my
weird,
way
like
of
when
doing
everyone
it
assumes
and
that they're
jumping all over the place.
So
And
I
if I
kind
could have
of,
focused on
I
this
stay
and
on
just
because
gone with the
when
flow,
I get away or
maybe
can
it could have been a different place.
I've been in the hotel business for 30 years.
That's exactly
I,
it.
I got called from.
Because now
Oh,
you
yeah.
get
I've been
all
in
these
the 12.
Like
Okay,
I
are
shared
you
open
opening
house
tables?
first.
Is it because it's old?
insist that young people call me
Things happen for a
auntie,
reason.
especially young,
So I
like
don't
teenage
really-
men,
My students
boys.
all call me
There's a lot of
Miss
folks.
Amory, so it's kind of
Yeah, it's the same.
So there's
You know,
one,
aunties
and
have
after
big
being
collar.
generated,
Yeah, it's in terms of respect and older.
This is a sign.
you gotta repeat it.
It just seemed like the right one.
So I started with
I mean, I could easily go back in.
That's what they told me I was gonna be someone else.
and then I came back home to visit my 14. So
Yeah.
when I stopped.
I hated it growing up, and I love it now.
I mean, not
But
just
it
really
was
good
just
to see.
my son, they
Okay.
your neighborhood or.
Whether you're with different couples.
You know, I don't have.
Oh,
This is where we can. So making a phone call. So when you're at class, like this, you're going,
Yeah, DC's word of if you're politically intelligent.
It's never gonna change.
So,
You gotta acknowledge it.
well, just if you
It's an amazing song.
It's all this beauty.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
You do it. It's just, you know what I'm doing. It's just like that.
Everybody's got to control it.
I used to go to Charlotte Swim every year for basketball.
Oh, you want your phone?
He's supposed to go in April.
Okay, let's bring it back.
Wrapping it up.
Wrap it up. Bring it back.
Yeah.
Or at least it's not so unknown.
Makes perfect.
I was there for 3 months, like,
Gosh, notice when I get you guys talking, then you just won't shut up. Yeah. Now we're talking. All right, tell me about that experience. How did it go?
It was horrible.
Was it so bad? I'm like a tortured lady.
The smile is
It was
sore,
really
but it
good.
was good.
I know, you know, like your cheeks get sore and you're like, I haven't smelled that long since.
You definitely get better as you go.
Yeah, for sure. Notice the only reason you sound like a robot is because you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like once you memorize it, you know what you're saying, and then you don't sound like a robot. Like that one is, when people say, oh, I sound like a robot, I'm like, that's because you don't know the script.
Yeah, it's mostly where you place the accent. All of a sudden, it just
Yes.
it flows and put commas. We were saying put commas instead of periods.
Yep.
They're not broken sentences.
Yeah.
They kind of should flow.
Exactly. Ups and downs, inflections. When you're first reading a script that is not your words and you're not making it up, your ups and downs, inflections are completely void. There's none. So you sound like a robot because that's how a robot talks. But your natural inflections will work in as you
Yeah.
learn the words.
Yeah.
Because then you're like, oh, you know what I'm saying, and then suddenly you start working your inflections in, and then you don't sound like a robot.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Awesome. What else? Give me another aha from that.
Well, along with that, for me, it's important to speak at the same pace that I normally speak at. And to be intentional about that I'm not. Because if I speak faster, people will pick up on it. Say, what are you reading something? Or, you know, or too slow.
Pace.
Yeah. And then what words to emphasize was important for me.
Yes.
Like I knew you would be helpful in
Right.
building my career.
And actually, when you pause after important words, it's a good thing, right? Like your natural pauses and flows. What were you saying, right?
Get to find out.
Oh, Lee was gracious enough to remind me to put energy behind my words.
Yeah.
Enthusiasm.
It naturally came when you smiled.
Yeah,
Everybody's voice changes when they smile.
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a different experience, right?
So being the accountability partner, you're learning the script as well as they're saying it, right? Because you
Sure.
can't help but internalize it and hear it, and so, you know, you're going,
Yeah.
okay, this is what they're gonna say next, and that helps also.
Yeah, we sing along with the songs all the time. Nobody ever gave us a written, here's what the song words are. In fact, we screw them up and then we're convinced that's what it says. Rock the cat box or something. Yeah. And we say, no, that's what it says. No, it doesn't. There's a Hard to Love song. I swear he says Honda Love. I'm like, it's like a Honda commercial. I don't know why they have it. But it's so funny. Like we sing along with songs because we hear them. So you hear it, yeah. So when you're working with the script partner, you're naturally pulling in things from them, which is awesome. And when you work with a script partner to memorize scripts, and you also work with them to work with objections. Like if you're somebody who's doing a lot of open houses, and you guys have getting these objections, let's work through objections together, and you both handle the same objection, it's awesome to listen to different ways that different people do it, especially if you're pulling from some scripts that have been written, because we have written scripts to handle all these objections, right? So, pretty powerful. Thank you for participating in that. Now, here's the exciting news. You're now in script practice time. So, we are going to continue practicing scripts, but it's going to be a little bit different. So, one of the ways that you memorize a script is you want to memorize by paragraphs, right? The first sentence is always the most important because it's always the one that's going to stop you. Now, these are easy because you're always going to be able to look at your page because you're on the phone, right? That being said, there's often times when we are in front of someone. And what we need to remember is that first sentence, because it's that first sentence that gets us, right? You guys understand that? Like, the first sentence is the one that usually brings the rest to memory. So the way you memorize is, you memorize the first sentence, so that's the 10 times, right? Working in the smile. The first time you just kind of read through out loud 5 times, then you work in the smile 5 times, then you bring in that second sentence, and then you work through the paragraph by adding 1 sentence at a time, 10 times through, okay? So that's how you memorize a paragraph. Because what we want you guys to get to the point of, because realistically, even though you're on the phone and you can look at the sheet, are you really internalized if you haven't memorized? Can you internalize if you haven't memorized? Right? You gotta be memorized in order to internalize it, right? So we do want to memorize it even though you can at this point get on the phone and look at the sheet if you need to. That being said, you're gonna feel better already just from the practice you guys did, right? It gets more comfortable, you get more natural with it. So what I want you to do is pick a different script partner, not the same person you just practiced with. So we're gonna change it up a little bit. I want you to take your script, and now we're working on actually memorizing it, okay? So you've got a paragraph, a first paragraph, they have a first paragraph, might be different. I want you to follow the procedure. You guys know about the smile, so just go ahead and read through the first sentence 10 times with the smile. Do the second sentence 10 times with the smile, then do the paragraph, adding a sentence every time until you finish that whole paragraph. Does that make sense? Once you complete your paragraph, it's your partner's turn to memorize their paragraph. And the key is you want to get to the point where on that 10th reading of the last sentence, you can actually read it without looking, okay? And you may not get there, that's okay. This isn't an overnight process, so we're getting that, this is a practice process. So, first things first, find a partner, other than one that you just used, that is in the room.
Anne-Marie?
All right, we're changing it up.
Where do you wanna go?
So you guys just,
Partner?
I guess you guys just split.
Why not?
There you go, perfect.
Don't stay here.
It's actually a really good conversation.
It's not done
Let me hear
yet.
what's the
You get to pick which
What's your name again?
All right. Yeah. You took-
Okay, so really good
Probably good
about
for most of
starting.
Yeah, you're done.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna try to memorize the first sentence.
All right.
Please make sure you choose the script.
Starts on
Please
6.
make
Mine's
sure-
not right there, I've been growing my business.
You guys,
Yeah.
make
Yeah,
sure
like
you
that.
use the script that you are gonna be using for calling today, okay? So, whatever you're gonna be using on your phone calls today, that's the script you're working on memorizing.
It worked.
I want you to get it.
Wanna go first or me?
Alright, so,
Oh, okay.
No.
Well, this is bigger than that.
right. So do 10.
I'm gonna try to memorize it, but I've been reading it so much, that's what I think. I'm going to share with you that I am now a real estate agent.
I'm using this
Williams Realty now.
all that.
I got it because I knew you guys would help me grow my business, especially since you know my track record and my commitment to doing my very best. That's the first paragraph. Really close. Hi Lee, I'm calling to share with you that I'm now a real estate agent with Keller Williams Realty. I'm calling you because,
It take a long time to go.
I'm calling you because I'm now a real estate agent with Keller Williams Realty. I thought of you because I knew you would be someone to help me grow my business. Especially since you know my track record and my commitment.
Conductor.
So do your first sentence 10 times fast.
That's how I think it's wrong. It's like a ballroom.
Then do the second sentence 10 times through.
Okay.
Then do 1, 2, 3 together, 10 times through, and do 1, 2, 3 together. So start just.
Right. First sentence of the little stick, right?
I'm calling you.
Then do 10 of 2, and then 10 of 1.
I'm calling to share. That's what happens to part of my Eileen, I'm calling to share.
I don't count either. Give it a
Sorry, I don't
shot.
think I clarified that.
I'm calling the sheriff.
So, first sentence 1 time, or 10 times through the first sentence. Second sentence 10 times through. Then do 1, 2, and 3 together 10 times through. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 times through. So you have to do that in one sentence. After you get the first 2 are your anchors, so you want to do 10 times on 1, 10 times on 2.
I go to the second sentence.
Then you go 1, 2, 3.
Unless you have any.
I'm calling the sheriff that I'm now a real estate agent.
I thought of you because I knew you would be someone.
One paragraph.
I thought of you
To know my track
because I
record.
knew you would be someone to help me grow my business.
Will you kick it off?
I thought of you because I knew
I'm
you.
busy growing my real estate business and working with great clients like you. I wanted to share that I have a personal goal to help 120 families get home with their
I thought of
dreams.
you, Lee, because
As you already know,
I
I'll
knew you
do
would be
whatever it
someone
takes
to
to
help
help
grow
them.
my business.
May I count on you to help me reach my goals?
Oh, I'm sorry. You're supposed to do it. 1, 2. I've been busy growing my real estate business and working with great clients like you. I've been busy growing my real estate business and working with great clients like you. I'm busy growing my real estate business and working with great clients like you. I've been busy working on, I've been busy growing my real estate business. I've been busy growing my real estate business, working with great clients like you. I've been busy growing my real estate business and working with great clients like you. I've been busy growing my real estate business and working with great clients like you.
Calling
I've
you
been busy
because I
growing my
knew
real
you
estate
would be
business and
someone
working with great
to
clients
help
like
me
you.
grow my
I've
business.
been busy working, I've been busy growing my real estate business and working with great clients like you.
I'm
I've
calling
been
to share
busy
with you.
growing my real estate business and working with great clients like you.
I've been busy calling you because I knew
Growing my
you.
real estate business and working with great clients like you.
Call
The slower one.
Someone help me grow my
I'm always thinking, I got a short period of time, Brian, I gotta get a hook in there sometime, and then see where it goes, and then maybe just slow down. No problem, no worries.
someone to help me grow my business.
Understood.
I'm doing the third one now, especially since you know my track record and my commitment to doing my very best.
Nope.
I'll try the whole thing. I want to give you time. Hi, Lee. I thought of you because I knew you would be someone to help me grow my business. I want to share, since you know my track record and my commitment to doing my very best. So I want to give you
Damn
time.
it. Yeah.
Okay, so after you do the first paragraph, do we, the other first paragraph? Okay, so you want to do that first sentence?
I wanted to share that I have a personal goal to help 120 families get into home. I'm busy growing my real estate.
I'm terrible at names, so that's why I was asking you.
I wanted to share that I have a personal goal to help 120 families get into home with their dreams this year. I'm busy growing my real estate business and working with great clients like you. I wanted to share that I have a personal goal to help 120 families.
Call the sheriff that I'm a real estate agent with Keller Williams Realty.
I've been busy growing my real estate business and working with great clients like you. What's that?
Especially because you know my commitment and track record.
Too much?
of doing the very best.
I'm busy growing my real estate business, working with great clients like you.
You're talking about,
I wanted to share that I have a personal goal to help
read my body language.
get into the home of their dreams this year.
Send you a text
I've
with the
been busy
link.
growing my
I
real
know,
estate
I'm
business,
the same way.
working with great clients
I
like
couldn't
you.
be a
I wanted to
telemarketer.
share that I have a personal goal to help
What do you think? Want to go for paragraph 3?
get in the home of their dreams this year.
Just be myself.
I've been busy growing my real estate business and working with great clients like you. I wanted to share that I have a personal goal to help 120 families get in the home of their dreams this year. I've been busy growing my real estate business and working with great clients like you.
I wanted to share that I'm a personal goal to help 120 families get in the home of their dreams this year. I've been busy growing my real estate business, working with great clients like you. I wanted to share a personal goal to help 120 families get in the home of their dreams this year. I've been busy growing my real estate business and working with great clients like you. And I wanted to share a personal goal to help 120 families get in the home of their dreams this year. All right. That feels good. It does. There's a little rhythm to it. Right? Cool. Thank you for that. All right, you're on.
You know, I actually like the word closer than real estate. To me, that real estate agent sounds like.
I'm calling to share that I'm now a real estate agent at Keller Williams Realty. I thought of you because I knew you'd be someone to help me build my business, especially since you know my track record of commitment to doing American. I'd like to share my free real estate app with you. It's so easy to check for what's what's for sale and for what price on your street or in your neighborhood, or even any place in the U.S. and Canada. I can send you a text with a link. Does that sound good? I'd also like to offer a real estate update on your neighborhood. You can add additional neighborhoods you may be interested in as well, and even customize photos for your studio. All you need is a current address and email to start receiving it right away. Do you mind sharing this information with me?
Sounds great.
I think the most important thing that people say to me is that you know me for a while, you know that I'm always doing this. However, I'm not a person that speaks precise, perfect words when I speak. You know, I try to communicate, I try to be personalized. And every person's different. Yeah. Okay, you want to try the whole first paragraph again?
I can send you a text. Does that sound good? I'd also like to offer you a real estate update on your neighborhood, so you can also add additional neighborhoods. Maybe you're a creator and you can customize how often you receive that. All I need is your current address,
And I think,
you can start receiving
I think it's important to really, that part really comes across as
sharing those with me. I'm building my business.
So now I'm gonna do the
I've
whole
been committed to that.
Do you know of anyone from your work?
That's
I'm
who you
busy
are.
growing my real estate business and working with great clients like you.
I mean, I'm
I
kind of
wanted to
speaking to
share
myself,
that
I'm saying that as
help
confidence.
120 families get in the home of their dreams this year. As you already know, I'll do whatever it takes to help people.
You know,
Next
and
time
that's
you
something.
I'm not sharing their name.
My wife's doing
I've been busy growing my real estate business and working with great clients like
Smile,
you.
you can do it.
I wanted to share that a personal goal to help 120 families get in the home of their dreams this year.
That's more of her style.
Whatever it takes